Hello, happy hump day. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for taking a minute to check out my video. I appreciate your time and I appreciate you. Today, I want to talk about a survey that came out, I think, the end of last week. And it was from ResiClub. And it spoke to mortgage rates that U.S. homebuyers are saying they're willing to accept. And I'm going to tell you, the encouraging news actually isn't in the survey results. But here's the whole thing. This is the gist. Only 16% of potential home buyers said they'd accept an interest rate up to 7%. And by and far, most respondents would only accept an interest rate as high as 5.5%. And so most people say, look, if I can't have a 5.5% interest rate or better, I won't buy a home. And this, on the surface, may appear to be bad news, but maybe not. Let's look at the data. Let's look at the numbers. So let's see if this works. Here's the article, the highest mortgage rate U.S. homeowners say they'd accept on their next home purchase. Let's slide down to the chart, which really says everything. Here it is broken down by interest rate. 100% of home buyers would accept an interest rate below 4%. 88% of home buyers would accept a rate below 4.5%. 78% of home buyers would accept a rate below 5%, and so on. You get to it. And then, but the market rate, let's say the market rate's around 6.5 today, let's just say. So only 26% of potential home buyers would accept a rate at 6.5%. Interesting, right? And so, in fact, only roughly 20% of home buyers would accept a current rate today to buy a house. Now, do we know that's true? No, that's not true, right? So that's not true. But before I get to what the insights are on this, let me just share one other thing. Here's what's really interesting. So if only 16% of home buyers will accept a rate over 7, and only 26% of home buyers will accept a rate over 6.5, right? What are home buyers' interest rate expectations? Do you think they're expecting lower rates? No. And in fact, only less than 5% think that interest rates will be 5.5% or less in the upcoming year. So while 95% of potential home buyers think rates are going to be above 5.5%, 75% of them will only accept a rate below 5.5%. So how do we reconcile those two things? How do we reconcile that? How do we go, gosh, I want to buy a home, interest rates are going to stay high, and I refuse a high interest rate? What do we do? Well, now, of course, there's all sorts of options. If you're a loan officer, and we know we have tons of financing options. We know that we can help them buy down the rate. We can do a seller buy down. We can do a temporary buy down. There's all sorts of things that we can do to get them the rate that they want. Those always aren't the best choices, right? I mean, why would you buy down the rate if you think interest rates are going to be lower in the future? That would just be a waste of money. And so instead, we have to coach people on what the proper steps to home ownership, what are the optimization for wealth through real estate. But here's something else, and this is the part of the encouragement I want everybody to take. This home buyer's sentiment on interest rate is a moving target. And here's the interesting thing. Studies have shown that home buyers don't actually care what the rate is. Now, they care about affordability, but as they emotionally react to rates, at this point, they emotionally react to what rates were yesterday or 6 months ago. That's their comparison point now. The comparison point is no longer during the low interest rate years of 2020, 2021, and 2022. We are now past that. That's a good thing, because for the longest time, so many of our home buyers had not fear of missing out, but regret of missing out. Like, let's call that ROMO of missing out. Like, I missed the best interest rates in the world. Now I'll never buy, because those interest rates were so fresh in their mind. But today's buyers, those interest rates aren't what they're looking at. They're not going, gosh, I can't get a 4%. They're going, hey, 4 months ago, interest rates were 7.25. Today, they're 6.5. That's good. Now, it has to fit their affordability equation. But if it fits the affordability equation, they're no longer emotionally attached to what rates were a long time ago. Their point of reference is short-term, not long-term. And we have to have the same point of reference. You and I can't go, yep, sorry, you missed out 4 years ago. Boy, were rates great. That's not their point of reference today. The point of reference are you kidding me? Interest rates were almost 8% a year and a half ago. They were 7.5% a year ago. Heck, they were 7.25% 6 months ago. Today's rates are great. because that's what they're comparing against. So we have to shift our comparison point too. And that's what the encouraging news in this survey, which it didn't directly address it, is that, and by the way, this was from ResiClub, and the author of the survey said, gosh, their only regret is they didn't do this survey more consistently, more often. They're going to do it quarterly so that they can see if sentiment's moving, but I guarantee you it is moving. Home buyer sentiment is moving on interest rates as they get used to the numbers in 6s and even 7s. And so that's the market's coming back to us, but we have to be there too to guide them. Remember, they're comparing it to yesterday. They're comparing it to a few months ago. They're not comparing it to 2021. And so we got to let go of that anchor too and help guide people to buying their home and creating wealth through real estate. Now, I did a post on this on LinkedIn. Check out my LinkedIn. As you go that way, check out my LinkedIn. I detailed the data. I also put a link to the article in my LinkedIn post. I will put a link in the article in my notes below. I hope you're off to a great week. We're in the middle of the week. It's great to talk to you. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks so much.